What velocity-based training isn't? Well, it's definitely not dynamic effort, conjugate method, or the Westside Barbell. However, he was a big part of the world of VBT. Velocity is also not an advanced training method. It's not meant for elites. It's not complicated to use, and it's not complicated to implement. So let's get those things out of the way before we get into actually what it is. So top 4 uses: minimum velocity, proper zone for prescribed velocity percentage, daily readiness, and estimated 1RM, and we're going to go over each of them now. So first off, minimum velocity. What that is just when, like this workout I've written for you guys, and it's going to be something I'm going to give to you all. You know, you tell your kids, work up to a 5 RM with the first 1 to 2 reps at 0.6 meters per second, and then they'll subtract 10% of that 5 RM for 2 more sets of 5, and that's, normally in Prilipin's optimal load. Week 2, 5 RM, the first 1 to 2 reps at 0.55. So you'll just progress down just like you normally would, going optimal load, high volume, deload, high intensity, going heavy. So it's basically linear periodization for 8 weeks on all 3 of the lifts, and we have the corresponding percentages, at least as it relates to the suggested velocities. So many advantages, like simple to implement, it's simple to follow, and you avoid all those dangerous misses from trying to go too heavy. So preferably, if I were you, track total volume, average intensity, and load per prescribed velocity. At the end of the 8 weeks, you can either work up to a 1 RM at 0.35 meters per second in the squat or 0.25 meters per second in the deadlift or bench, or start all over and hit higher loads at the prescribed velocities. Advantage number 2, intent. Making sure you hit the proper zone for the prescribed percentage. When you have a velocity to hit for a prescribed percentage, like the chart I have listed here for you, the benefits are max rate of force development, max motor units recruited, and max hypertrophy. Basically, we're talking about compensatory acceleration. Use number 3 for high school is daily readiness. Now, we've already discussed this in prior articles and videos, so go watch that. But basically, everybody's 1 RM goes up or down every single day due to stress. So it's a great thing to find out if the athlete is capable of the daily prescribed intent with either a jump squat or a clean pull. Use number 4 for high school students would be estimating 1 RMs. So realize there's a relationship between load and velocity. As the load goes up, the velocity goes down. And because of that, we can easily make a good prediction of what one's 1 RM actually is without maxing out. To estimate an athlete's 1 RM, you're going to need to get their 60%, 70%, 80%, and 90%. You're going to need their loads, and you're going to need the corresponding velocities. Then you're going to need their minimum velocity thresholds, which is basically the slowest velocity at which a rep can be performed for a given exercise, which I provided for you here. Squat, 0.3 meters per second, bench, 0.15, and deadlift, 0.17 meters per second. You will also need to know the slope and the intercept. And here's the cool little formula, and the best part of the whole thing is a cool little sheet that does all that for you, and it's attached to this video, and it's also in the article. With this, you'll be able to monitor improvement and avoid any unnecessary risk of injury from trying to max out. So I hope this helps you guys. I've referenced the link from GymAware that talks all about estimating 1 RMs anyways, that number 3. I recommend checking that out to truly understand how this whole thing works with estimating 1 RMs.